Here's just a quick example from this week's Torah portion of actual proper biblical Gematria, which proves that A, it's real, and B, that you can make certain connections throughout the text with it. I can't really vouch for what other people are doing, but here's just an example of a proper result. So again, this is from this week's Torah portion, and here we are in Exodus 23, verse 9. You shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt. This is talking about someone who emigrates to your country. You shall not oppress this type of stranger. But also it has the connotation of this, a stranger here, using the word ger, is nowadays a convert. But back in biblical times, this was like a person who emigrates and also takes on one god. Now, it could be a ger toshav, it could be a ger tzedek. So the ger toshav would be just a person who stays, who doesn't convert fully. He stays a Gentile, but he believes in one God. Whereas the ger tzedek is the full convert. So the word here is ger. And you can see here, Nefesh Ha-Ger. So the Nefesh is one aspect of the soul. And so it's like, you could translate it as the soul of the ger. So here it's saying you know the feelings of the stranger. And here it's like you know the soul of the stranger because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. So I've taken Nefesh Ha-Ger, and using a Gematria site here, my favorite one, it will highlight every example of this total. And it actually is kind of interesting. We have Nefesh Ha-Ger here, and we find ger in this result here, and it's I have been a ger. And this is from Exodus 2:22. So let's check that out. And this is Moses. Speaking of Jethro and Zipporah, who was his wife, she bore a son whose name was Gershom. So you can see ger is in his name right here. For he said, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. So it's exactly connected to our verse. You know, the feelings of the stranger or the soul of the stranger. And here he's saying, it's because you've been a stranger in the land of Egypt. And Moses named his son Gershom because I have been a stranger, or a ger, in a foreign land. And here is the actual result. I have been a ger. I have been a stranger. And then you can find it again in Exodus 18:3. And again, it's connected to Jethro and Zipporah. So Jethro, as you see here, Moses' father-in-law took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after she had been sent home, and her two sons, one of whom was named Gershom. That is to say, I have been a stranger in the foreign land. Again, I have been a stranger. And we have, again, Nefesh Ha-Ger, which is a match for Brit Hashem, Brit, or covenant of God, which is perfect because when you are a ger, or a convert, you take on the covenant. You take on the covenant of Hashem, the covenant of God.